My register number is URK17CS174, and this is the third experiment in the mobile application development using Android Lab. And today our experiment involves some custom layouts, array adapters, and we are going to develop basically a shopping cart for the user. So let's look at the code now. So first I would like to explain about the custom layout that we have created. So we want each item to be represented by image, have a name and a price, and we want this to be repeated continuously. So for this, basically we've taken a linear layout, and inside that we've added an image view. So that this is the image. Now this is just a demo image. This will be changed by the array adapter later. After that we have yet another linear layout, but this one's orientation is vertical, so that um, this is stacked on top of each other. The previous one was horizontal, so all the elements are stacked from right to left, but the next one is vertical, so inside this everything will be talked about. After that we have just two text views. We've added the IDs for them, and we want to fill in the name and price of each product in here. So next let's go to the array adapter. Now the array adapter is needed every time you need to display some data in a custom list view. Since there are multiple things to display, we need this array adapter to create a new layout and inflate it. So for that we have this function called getView, and this is just going to take in the position, the convert view, and the view group parent. So inside here we create a layout inflator object, and we create a view object here, and we inflate this custom layout that we have created. And using find view by id, we find all the things, the image view and the two text views that were previously shown in this. And finally we set the image resource, we set the text and the second text. So this is the image of the product, this is the name of the product, and this is the price of the product, and we return this view. And we just have the constructor over here, just the context, the image IDs, the names, and the prices, and these will be assigned to inner variables over here. So now let's move on to the main activity. So if we look at the design is fairly simple. We just have a button over here on the top to generate the invoice, and we have a list view. Now this list view is a generic list view, but this will be replaced by whatever has been defined by a array adapter, and it will be backed up by the custom layout that we've designed. So we just have a list view, and now let's move on to the Java code of this page. So inside here we have created our list view, we have defined some image IDs here, and all of these are stored in the drawable folder. Apart from that we have the names and we have the prices. Now all of these are arrays. And finally we have a hash table for the quantities, and integer for calculating the total, and another hash table to represent the cart that the user is going to interact with. So in the on create we basically get the action bar. This is just for appearance, just changing the action bar color. And apart from that we find all the buttons and the list view that is in the main activity page. Finally we use the array adapter that was previously shown, and we create a new object. We pass the context, that is basically this, and the image IDs, the names and prices, uh, just like the constructor which required. And finally we call this set adapter, and we set this my array adapter that we've created. Finally this is on set on item click list now. So basically when an item is clicked from this list, what action should be taken is defined in this function. So what we do is, whenever an item is clicked, we create a alert dialog.builder object, and we show the user that this item has been selected, and we define a set positive button. Now if the set positive button is clicked and this item is already in the cart, then there's a different operation, and there's a different operation if the item is new in the cart. So if it's already in the cart, all we have to do is just increase the quantity and increase the total value of this. So basically we get the price and we parse it, and then we add the prices again to this previous total, and in the cart we update the value. Finally we add it to the total, and in the quantity hash table we update the quantity that we've previously got, and now it's finally set. And this is when the item is fully new, maybe in the starting of the app or something like that. So in this what we do is basically cart dot put. So this is a hash table dot put. So this will be the key names of position. So this is the name of the item, and string dot value of price of position. So we're taking the price of the item and we're converting it to a string and adding it. So this will be the key and this will be the value in the hash table. We're adding the price to the total so that we can keep track of the total, and we're also updating the quantity so that now the quantity can be changed from 0 to 1. In the negative button, which is basically cancel, we just show null. This means the dialog goes away and nothing happens. And finally we create the alert dialog and we show the alert dialog. And then this is the submit in invoice button, which goes to a new screen. So we have a new intent over here, and this is the context that we provide, and this is the class name which we need to create the new intent with. We put some extras, basically one to track the total, one to track the quantity, and one to basically track the cart, and we start the new activity. The next one is the final screen, and if you just look at the design, this is just a background image. The rest of whatever items are being put in here are done programmatically. So let's look at this. So again we just change the action bar color. We create a linear layout, and we also receive the intent. We get the data from get extras. Now we're getting the total, and we're getting the hash map quantity, and we're also getting the serializable card, which is again cast into a hash map. So after that we are basically getting the uh, keys and values, and we're putting them into two different arrays, uh, and this will come into function later, and also getting the quantity from the quantity hash map so that we can keep track of that. So finally here the number of text views we need to add, we just take the card dot size and we add that many text views. So we create that many text views. It's an empty array right now, it will be populated later. So we run a loop from 0 to the size of the card, and what happens is we create a text view, we set some layout parameters, set some margins, gravity, and the colors. So all the customization is here, and after that what happens is, here is the main part where we're setting the text. Take the item, then the quantity, and then the price. So these three arrays which were created here come into play over here so that it's easy for us to display. And then we add the view to the layout which is created, and we also added to this my text views of I equals row text. After that this is just a layer parameters that I've used to set some match balance stuff. And next is a total text view to indicate the total that was passed down. So we create a text view again, we set the text, we set the gravity, and we set the layout parameters that we need, and here's the layout parameters that I defined, and we finally add it to the linear layout. And then this is basically to create a relative layout inside this previous linear layout, and we add it to the linear layout, and we add this final text view to the lowest part. Now this is basically to check if the customer has ordered anything. If the customer has actually ordered anything, then this message is displayed, otherwise this message is displayed. And we finally just set some properties for this text view, and we add it to the view, and that will be the last step. So let's look at the demo for this app. So this is our app. We're just going to add some items now. So we've added one of each. Now we just add another just to show that the quantity function is working, and we will generate. So as you can see, we added two apples. It was 100 each, so it's now it's 200. One of orange and one of banana, a total of 330. This is the message that we set. So that is the end of third experiment in the mobile application development lab. Thank you.